Hello, my name's Rob Edwards. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today, well, I've been quite quiet over the last few weeks. I've been off my summer holidays, as any good Finn does. And while I've been away, there have been several news stories which I want to talk about that I haven't had a chance to talk about. So today, we're going to have a session where I talk about news about things that entertain Rob, or welcome to the NATTER. Yes. There we go. That's my intro. Exciting, wasn't it? So up today, I'm going to do them more or less in chronological order as they occur to me, as I remember them happening. So the first thing I want to talk about today is the news around Doctor Who. I'm assuming that most people are aware of this now, but it has been announced that Jodie Whittaker is going to have, I think it's six episodes, season 13, then some sort of festive special, then a centenary of the BBC special, and then an episode in which she will leave. Jodie is basically departing the show. And when she goes, Chris Chibnall is going with her. Now, I've talked at length before about my feelings about this era of Doctor Who. Doctor Who is my favourite TV show of all time. I love it. I've loved every iteration of it, even Jodie's. Although I have to say, there have been sections of Jodie's 13th Doctor era which have not sat well with me. And I think there have been more poor episodes in the 13th Doctor's run than in any other Doctor Who series. I've said before on this channel that I think this is mostly down to the writing rather than Jodie herself. I think Jodie has, apart from her massive arms with her sonic screwdriver, I think Jodie's performance is one that I've actually quite enjoyed. So I'm happy. Yeah, no, I am. I'm happy to see Chris Chibnall going. I'm hoping that means, I'm hoping we get another series, of course, and I hope we get another Doctor, but I'm particularly hoping that this will mean a new era for the writing of Who, and I'm quite excited about that. I'm disappointed not to see Jodie as written by another showrunner. I think that could have been quite an interesting take. But I understand these things, and actually, although it feels like the 13th Doctor has only just joined us in one way, she's also been around for a very long time, in actual sort of physical number of years, if not in number of episodes. So maybe it is time for a change. We have the new Marvel show, What If? At the time of recording, there have been 3 episodes of this. No spoilers in any of this, but I have to say I'm basically really enjoying this show. The thing that I love most about What If so far is that every episode has been distinctly different. The first episode is, for want of a better phrase, it's more of a reskin of Captain America First Avenger, changing out the central role. So Captain Carter is in place of Steve Rogers. And it's not hugely different from the original movie. It's a lot shorter than the original movie, but it's not hugely different. I enjoyed it nonetheless, and always glad to see Hayley Atwell back, because I've enjoyed her in all of the Marvel movies and in her own show as well. Then we had the rather poignant T'Challa as Star-Lord episode, which was endless fun. Just bags and bags of fun. Lots of cool action. Lots of what the heck moments when various different people are suddenly in different roles or don't do quite what we expected them to do. Lots of fun stuff. Probably my favourite of the 3 is the T'Challa episode. And of course, getting to hear Chadwick Boseman in the role once more. Kind of poignant, kind of touching, and I really appreciated it. And most recently, we've had the episode about the Avengers being killed off during Nick Fury's big week. Was that a spoiler? The episode's called What If Earth Lost Its Mightiest Hero, so I guess that's not a huge spoiler, but apologies if you feel I just spoiled you. a very different take, much more kind of out there and weird and different from what's established canon in the Marvel Universe, and that's a good thing. But quite a broad canvas. I don't know that I really connected with any of the characters in this version of reality, which is a bad thing. So a bit of a mixed bag episode 3. On the whole, I quite enjoyed it. I did solve the mystery ahead of time, but not so very far ahead of time to have spoiled my enjoyment of the show. So thumbs up from me, enjoying What If, looking forward to seeing what else we've got coming from this season. Staying in the Marvel Universe, we have the recently released, finally released, SpiderMan No Way Home trailer, and it was epic. Lots of really cool stuff, lots of returning characters, and not just from the Tom Holland movies, from the whole of the Spider-Man oeuvre. And as a big Spider-Man fan, and a fan of all the movies we've had for Spider-Man, even the Andrew Garfield ones, perhaps less Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I'm really stoked to see all these characters come back, and how they're going to interact with Tom Holland's Peter Parker is going to be really interesting. Are they the main villain of the piece? I think there is another villain yet to be revealed that is behind all this. I'm curious about the whole Doctor, because there was obviously stuff in the trailer which suggested Peter and Doctor Strange fighting. So I do wonder whether there is going to be an adversarial aspect to Strange in this movie as well. So that might be quite an interesting wrinkle and dynamic in the whole thing. Are we going to see returning Spider-Man? The movie is getting very, very full now, with a whole slate of Sinister Six and a possible battle with Doctor Strange, and all the stuff that needs to be explained to explain the status quo, and then the changes after Strange has cast the spell, and then to throw in cameos even from Toby or Andrew. It's going to be a big ask, but I think we're going to see at least one of them, at least briefly. Maybe very briefly, but at least briefly. Speaking of epic information being released for things that I am absolutely stoked for, we have the Wheel of Time TV show. And a couple of weeks ago, as I'm recording this, we had the first sort of official release of photos to Entertainment Weekly of the full cast. And here we have the sort of shot of the Emansfield 5, Lan and Moiraine walking heroically towards the camera. I'm sure this isn't a shot from an episode, but I like the looks. I have to say, I don't know what it is about. So from the left to right, we have Nynaeve, Matt, Lan, Moiraine, Egwene, Perrin, and Rand. Of the looks, I think Moiraine is perfect. Too tall, of course. Moiraine is famously very short. But I have no complaints about that. They've found a brilliant actress to play her, and she looks great in the role. I think Perrin looks... I'm actually really excited by Perrin's look. He's not how I pictured him, certainly not from having seen the book covers. But yeah, that looks like Perrin to me, and Rand looks great as well. Matt is one of my favourite characters in Wheel of Time. I like his clothing, but I have to say the look is not quite what I was expecting. I know they've aged up all the Emansfield 5, and I don't have a problem with that. But scruffy, yes, for Matt. I don't know that I necessarily expected quite that much beard, but I mean, I'm willing to be convinced. I mean, generally speaking, this lot together looks like an exciting group of people. And of course, mustn't forget talking about Nynaeve with her epic braid, which is almost as much of a character as Nynaeve herself is in the early books. And Egwene also looks fantastic as well. So, Amazon Prime, hurry up with this. I desperately want to watch season 1 of Wheel of Time. I'm very, very excited for it. And these pictures have really helped in that regards. Final thing from me in the NATTER today is a bit of a cheat, really. because it's just a reminder that Inklings Press's next book, Tales from Alternate Earths, releases on September the 3rd in Kindle format and probably paperback. It may be a short delay before the paperbacks be available, but generally speaking, the book will be available from Friday, September the 3rd, and I am very, very excited to see it happen. And that's it from the inaugural episode of The Natter. Will we have a second episode of The Natter? Who knows? I'm very good at coming up with formats and then never coming back to them again, but I quite like this. I quite like the idea of for a short news. When I've got lots of news to cover in a short amount of time, it was quite a fun little format to have a go at. So maybe it will come back. Maybe we'll come back this way again. In the meantime, I'm going to have quite a busy week this week. If you're watching this as it comes out, Tuesday this week, so this may be the day of release of the video, or it was yesterday, depending on when I get the video out. On Tuesday, we have an article or an interview I did with the Witty and Sarcastic Book Club blog about my writing and about tabletop role-playing games and the relationship between the two of them. Keep an eye out for that. Wednesday, my podcast has its 49th episode, in which I will be reading my story, Ops and Ostentation, from Tales from Alternate Earths 3. So if you want to have a listen to that, go check out storycastrob.co.uk or look for Storycast Rob on iTunes or Spotify, the usual places you can find podcasts. On Friday's the release of the book, of course, and we are going to try and sort out some sort of launch party. More about that in the next day or two, I'm sure. So, lots to look out for, lots to enjoy, but for the moment, thanks for joining me. Cheers.